Guys, one of the questions that Oz had kind of asked me to think about when I was preparing to join in on this blab was, you know, why don't you just hire an IT department to help you manage all this data?
Yeah.
Well, I'm pretty sure that an IT staffer would be incredible for us to have, but a full-time strategist would also be an amazing thing for us to have. A project manager would be an amazing thing for us to have. Another in-house writer would be great. We are shoestringing right now. And yeah, it's a struggle when you're working with a small staff to kind of divide and conquer that work. And so it falls on the, I'm part client services director and part account manager. So it really falls on the account managers who each manage about 6 or 7 clients right now to take this data every month and compile it in a way that makes sense.
Mentioned Microsoft's BI.
Yeah. So what is that?
Yes. Power BI is something that Microsoft has been working on over the past few years. And it helps Excel act more like a database, is how I see it, where you don't need a database admin, servers, and a lot of other things. So I'm working on a solution now where we've got in count data, shipping data, inventories, and the client is trying to forecast products that they'll need so that they can order them in time. So they want to know what's low.
That's cool.
Right. So through the use of Power Query, I can set up dedicated folders and just drop workbooks into that folder and refresh the query in Excel.
So Oz, here's a question that's going to blow your mind, and it's going to send me back to 2nd grade. But what is the difference between a spreadsheet and a database? I know we only have, you know.
No. Okay, I'm going to give you, see, I'm not in the database world. But one way of thinking about a spreadsheet is as a flat file, okay, where you just have column headers and rows.
Yep.
Rows of data. I was trying to get Peter again. And it's just not happening. I don't know. So, okay. A database is set up to where you can drop the data straight in. Okay. Straight, you'll have an interface. You can add new data. Hey, Peter's finally here.
Yes.
All right.
The system worked.
Yeah.
That's all we needed. Sorry. Oz, please continue. You were describing databases.
Right. So you can upload just straight data and set relationships between the data so that if you have customer data over here and sales data over here, you can have a relationship to where you can start getting information about the top 3 customer sales in Q1. Okay, so a database would be set up to deal with that automatically.
Okay.
In Excel, you'd have to use formulas.
Okay.
Or you could use what's now available, Power Query, Power BI, Power Pivot, And that's just within the last few years. And it seems like the Microsoft developers up in Redmond, they have been seeing that people are using Excel like a database. So why not make it easier?
Yeah.
Okay. But then beyond that, Excel is really a development platform. Because I've used it to script web pages. People are using it for art. I created a naughty niceometer, so that you can see where your kids are in relation to Christmas and Krampus and Santa Claus.
That's awesome.
Right. It wouldn't be so easy to build that in a database.
Okay. Cool. Oh, Lord, I lost my screen. There it is.
So, a database really is about data and the relationships between data.
Okay, that makes sense. I mean, that's really something closer to, what we would want to set up, between our clients' CRMs and, maybe even their project management systems, and to be able to not only track what they've sold, but what they've completed, and then, how it all relates to the content that we've created.
And there's a weird relationship that people have with databases. They do seem to be more complex to set up. And there tends to be somebody who really knows access on the team. Whereas with Excel, everybody's got it. So it's easier to get people to kind of grow and start to treat Excel like a database rather than bring in something completely brand new like Access.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, so Peter's back. And one conversation I want to have at some point with Excel in the wild is, when is a business mature enough to where they truly need a database and can maintain it? Because I've seen, I worked with a business that did bring in a database and nobody used it.
Huh. Yeah, that's a lot of money to spend on a solution that no one is actually finding to be a solution.
Right.
Well, and that's that's one of the things that we struggle with. We're really on quite the small budget. I mean, we have invested heavily in our marketing platform because it does so very much for us. And but we found that reporting is really one of the biggest areas that HubSpot is lacking in. And really handling data in my line of work now is wholly unavoidable. I mean, we used to rely on vanity metrics in our industry. We could just tell somebody how many visitors they were getting on their webpage, and they'd be thrilled because they were like, yeah, we're doing it. But now marketing, online marketing is so commonplace now that those vanity metrics just don't cut it anymore. So we really have to be able to draw that relationship between marketing and sales. And
you got to get that data out of there. Why is that no longer good enough?
Because our customers have gotten smarter, and they know how important marketing is to their cause, and they've realized that they can get all the visitors in the world to their website, but if no one is actually becoming, a qualified lead or someone that they can send a bid to, a visitor doesn't mean jack, because they're not actually generating any sales. So vanity metrics really just don't get us anywhere. They make us feel warm and fuzzy inside, but then it all goes cold because our clients fire us when, all we're doing is generating visitors for them. That's not what we're doing. We're very good at what we do.
Right. But the reports could be better.
The reports could be better.
And what's weak there?
Man, I wish I could share my screen. I actually could show you kind of what reports we get through HubSpot. But but it's, and it also has to do with, the license that our customer carries on HubSpot, and, how much they're able to leverage the tool versus, stuff that they have to do independent of HubSpot. And it's just hard to be able to bring all that data together between marketing and sales.
Right.
And, we also work, I don't know if you guys can see, I'm in my home right now. We all work remotely. Pete, I can see you are, unless your office is super homey. But yeah, it looks like you are at home as well. That's a good call, Byron. He says, I feel like there's newer technology that can make our jobs easier, but we're still stuck on what we did years ago. I mean, that's commonplace
now,
in business.
That's interesting.
Overall, I mean, people, if it worked once, why can't it just keep working forever?
Right.
And
I went to a company that was using file cards in drawers.
What?
And there was 4 people who started a business together back in the late 60s. They were all friends. File cards have brought them into 2012 when I showed up.
Wow.
So that was evidence to me that nobody needs any of all of this technology. They need to understand the data. Because these people are running a successful business on file cards. That's
crazy.
So, right. So,
can I get those in bulk at Staples? It's pretty affordable. So,
right.
let me get some.
So this part of why this is exciting to me is that nobody needs all of this stuff. It can help make life better. And it's an interesting perspective from Byron that, right, there's all this new stuff, but how do you implement it? When does life slow down so that you can figure out what the hell all this stuff is?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So, Peter, what do you have to say?
I'll give you a quick dog and pony because it's kind of relevant. I work for a company called Simply Measured, and we're kind of straddling 2 worlds. We're friendly to Paige because we do social media analytics and all that good stuff. But the really weird, unique thing about us is that we dump all this data into Excel, and we give our customers basically the full Monty. So we build nice looking reports in Excel, dump those in, and then we give you all the data and kind of give you the breakdown so that Paige can do her job and say, hey, in plain English, customer, you were effective at this point and you failed here, and all that kind of good stuff. So it's kind of cool. I'm the IT guy for the company, and so we use a bunch of different tools. For a social media marketing company, it's really interesting, and I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about balancing Excel, proper Excel, and Google Sheets. There's some mechanics there. Yeah. Are you a Google Sheets person, Paige?
I am a Google Sheets person because I am too poor to buy an Excel license. So yeah, I work in either open source or, in the cloud.
Right.
All day.
And it's effective for you. It works okay.
It works fine. Especially for what I do with it right now. I don't know what I'm missing, really.
Right.
But it's interesting. I mean, it's effective for you. Excel's effective. You can get in there, slice data. You can share it internally. It's a great way to bootstrap and get going. Mm-hmm. And then when you need to do the heavy lifting, I imagine, Oz, that's sort of your world, right? Are you a pivot table guy? What are you doing day in and day out?
Yeah, I've done a lot of things. Right now I've got several projects where data is coming from different sources and needs to be fed in and have calculations done.
Okay.
Taken from pieces of all the different locations of the data. So I do all of that in Excel. Again, small businesses, small teams. Nobody's going to take on doing a database.
Right.
So by using Power Query, it's working. But I've also used Excel to scrape web pages. So one time Excel ran for 4 days and grabbed data off of 29,000 web pages.
What?
That's pretty awesome.
To what
this
end?
Is where,
To what end? I mean, why?
Because a company wanted a list. And they went to go see if they could buy the list, and it didn't exist. So they said, okay, we know where the data is. And they were paying people $3 an hour in India to highlight, copy, paste into Excel. And maybe they can get 50 a day. But I was able to let it run for 4 days on its own and grab all of the data.
Come on. All right. My cat needs to go. All right.
So that's one thing that I've appreciated about Excel is because it's truly a development platform where all of those kind of things can help. Where a database is a database.
It's a little more focused, but Excel is really the Swiss Army knife. It's very approachable. People get the concept. It's tables, you cut and paste, and away you go. So approachable. Many companies, as an IT guy, did consulting for a long time. You'd roll in there and they ran the whole business off of it. There's still a company I know, it's a fairly large roofing company. They run their entire business off that because the CEO knows how to use Excel. So how he does bidding and how he does pricing, it's approachable to him. So we've used FileMaker, which I think Starlight's would be freaked out about because she's a hardcore Access person. But we've used FileMaker to do some of that relational stuff, Oz, to get that so we can see stuff and all of that. So pretty cool. It's a Swiss Army knife for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Hey, Oz, so just a heads up, thanks to our technical difficulties today. Unfortunately, I have got to get out of here in a couple of minutes.
Okay.
I don't want that to stop everybody from having an awesome conversation. Yeah. If you have any other questions for this guy, ask them now, or you'll have to live in mystery forever.
Well, I appreciate this. I appreciate you coming on.
I wouldn't have missed it.
Paige, I have a quick question for you. Is there a tool that you need now? What do you think is lacking in the world, or do you have everything you need now to do what you need to do? What's the blank check? If you had a blank check and you could have any app, what would you want?
Jesus, that's a loaded question.
Maybe too broad.
Well, I think it's dangerous.
I'm guessing it's around data. I think... Yeah, most of my wishes are more around wishing that our clients had broader HubSpot licenses so we could just get more data out of what we're doing for them. And I don't know, a good platform for all of our clients to work on to collect data about their sales process in a simple way that doesn't get obfuscated by different salespeople's personal data entry habits and things like that. I mean, we deal with data quality problems just as much as we do with just figuring out how to handle, all the data that we get. There's only so much training that we can do around, how to use the CRM to get the right amount of data as far as qualifying customers, things like that.
So do you do a lot of data cleansing?
Not as much as I probably could. I think that data cleansing for our clients could probably be at least a half-time job, if not a full-time one. There's a lot of information that ends up especially in the CRM, that either hasn't been done correctly or could use a little bit of clarification. One of the big data cleansing efforts that we go into with many of our clients is as we're transitioning them to HubSpot's CRM. We'll get big, PDFs or spreadsheets and things like that have all kinds of crazy codes in them that, refer to outdated, Salesforce stuff or, high-rise mumbo jumbo. And then we have to figure out, okay, what fields do we actually need in here and how do we get those to translate as we're moving them into the CRM to get them transitioned. It's
So filtering the signal from the noise, it sounds like.
yes.
A little bit.
Just finding meaning and trying to determine, what data is actually important for us to port over so they don't wind up with a messy database in their CRM from the very beginning. Wow. And actually end up with something that gives them enough insight into their customers and, their needs and their buying history, but also makes it a clean interface for them to get in and really get down to brass tacks where sales is concerned.
And provide actionable data. Is that the idea?
Yeah, what? Actionable data? Yeah, that'd be nice.
Right.
So there's issues with licensing, quality, training around all of this.
This is my life, Oz, baby. This is my life.
Wow. Okay.
And I love it. And honestly, my favorite part of my job is when I get to cut through all the crap and actually provide a solution to clients that answers, their problems, their questions that they've had for, when I can pull a list that gives them exactly the fields that they need. Right. And they can just say, holy crap, this is the information I needed. That right. feels amazing. And when I get to, help educate them about unlocking the power of the data that was sitting in this website all along, that makes me feel great.
What could people like me do to help you better so that you could help them?
I mean, I would love to, to sit down with you and kind of show you what I'm working with. Mm-hmm. And because I don't know, like I said to Pete earlier, I don't know what I don't know.
Right.
I'm positive, like in my heart of hearts, that there's a better way, an easier way to do some of the stuff that I need to do. And maybe there are even, opportunities to interpret data for my clients that I never even knew existed. But, that, not just being a data missionary, but maybe being a mercenary, you could be like a data evangelist and really help me kind of get a handle on everything that I have in front of me, kind of in my arsenal, and help me unleash that and be better for my clients.
Yes. And it sounds like, at least from, my experience and what I'm hearing from you, you don't need a whole lot. You wouldn't need to become some master Excel user.
No.
So
I think just a little bit more, like incremental increases in knowledge would be actually pretty meaningful for me.
Incremental. Yes. In my blog post is with the open source stuff. When you get to a real level of sophistication, then you got to start writing code. Was there's a lot that you would have to do in Excel. Let me say that a different way.
To kind of hit that ceiling.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Before you have to start writing code. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to look for this. Because just like, would you know what cascading drop down lists? Okay.
I mean, is that like when you're using like data validation and stuff to like make a drop down? I don't know. No, clearly I don't.
What that is, I'm going to put this link in here. A cascading drop down list is, say, if you have fruits, vegetables, animals. Mm-hmm. And then you have your list of fruits, vegetables, and a list of animals. And then you pick one drop-down list that says animals, and then you only want to see animals there.
Yep, that makes sense.
Yes.
Can you do that in Excel? Can you do that in Excel?
Yes. It takes a few steps. but there's a standard way of doing that. In Google Sheets, there are hacky workarounds that are really delicate.
Yeah.
I did one, but here's the thing. So you've got 5 fruits. Now you want to add a 6th fruit. Google Sheets broke. There's a way of making it happen dynamic in Excel. Okay.
Well, let's let's do this again sometime.
Yes.
I would love to talk more about this, and we'll beat our computers into submission earlier.
Yes, we will. Cool. All right.
Good deal.
Well, thanks a lot. Thanks for being here.
Of course. Anytime. We'll talk after the holidays. We'll do another one of these for 2016.
Yes, we'll do.
We'll talk more offline. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Follow me on Twitter if you want to. I rant a lot.
All right. Thanks a lot.
All right. See you guys.